Hi, my name is Brad Heineck, and I'm a physical therapist.
And I'm Bob Schrupp, and I'm also a physical therapist.
Okay. What we're here to talk today about is tennis elbow. Okay, technically it's called lateral epicondylitis, but it is tennis elbow is the common name for it, and it is always right here on the outside of your elbow on this bone right here. That happens to be the condyle. It's the epicondyle. That's how the technical name is made. And it comes from tennis elbow because a lot of tennis players get it when they do their backhand. These muscles are stressed. Where the muscle actually connects to the bone, or it can be the ligament, they get stretched and irritated and they get inflamed. And as you continue to work with repetition, it gets to be a chronic cycle and it can be very tender. I've had it on both my arms in the past 15 years, one episode on each elbow. And when I'd walk through a door, if I happen to bump my elbow on the door frame real lightly, it's just enough to make you stop and hold your elbow, and almost made me say bad things once. But it's very painful. And when it gets to be that point, that's when you go to the doctor, and oftentimes the doctor will send you to a therapist, and we can treat it. What we're going to do is talk to you about some common treatments we as therapists use on our patients and have the most success with. So Bob right now is going to talk about something, technique he uses with the patient. I'll let him explain it because he doesn't.
The technique is cross-fiber friction massage, and it sounds more complicated than it is. And basically what you're trying to do, and we're not going to try to diagnose exactly where your problem is, but we're guessing that you're having trouble with either a ligament or a tendon. A ligament, now this is supposed to be two bones, one bone, another bone. A ligament helps hold the two bones together. So this red thing right here is a ligament. A tendon is where the muscle actually narrows up and attaches to the bone. So that's also indicated in red. They are actually made out of similar materials, and so they respond similarly to treatment and to cross-fiber friction massage. So we're generally speaking, that's probably going to be your problem area, is probably going to be a ligament or a tendon when you talk about right here. So what we want to do is we're actually, when you get damage to one of these, and that's what we're assuming is going on, is that something got disrupted or stretched or even torn, maybe micro tears in it, and it starts to heal. It heals every which way. What was the term you had for that, Brad? Like a cobweb.
Right, I explained to patients that there's scar tissue that's trying to heal things together, but as Bob has up there, it comes together in all different directions, like a cobweb, or if you have a big ball of thread, it's all together. And what we want to do is straighten that out so they become in a strong formation. And go ahead, Bob.
And exactly, like I show people that it goes kind of like this. It forms in every which way, but you don't want it to heal that way, because when it heals that way, it's not as strong. It's like I tell people, if you had a scar here and it was healing in every which way, and as soon as you bent your elbow, that scar would break open again. So the same can be true for anything right here. If you got scar tissue forming here, as soon as you use it again, it breaks open, has to heal again, go through the healing process, use it again, breaks open again, you get this vicious cycle. So we want it to heal strong. So in order to have it heal strong, we're actually going to do a rub or massage right across the fibers of it. And by doing so, then it heals and it starts to form like that instead of like this. And this is strong. So a cross-fiber massage, so if I was going to do it to Brad here.
Can you zoom in on this, Lindsay?
So let's say here's the bone, and you're just going to have to find the spot because we're not going to be there to help you. Here's the bone. Usually it's just right next to the bone. And you'll find a tender spot here, and you're going to go across it like this. You can put one finger on top of the other, or you can put both fingers next to each other. But the thing about this is you're going to rub hard. You're going to rub as hard as the person can tolerate, as you can tolerate. Mm-hmm. And if it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, it's not ready for it. It's too tender. You have to do ice and other things, which we'll talk about. But if it can tolerate it, just start lightly and go harder and harder. If you can tolerate, you can go up to a couple minutes and it should actually start to get numb and actually feel better.
Right.
And that's a good indicator that it was the right thing to do. So if it doesn't, if it just starts getting worse and worse, you need to break off. If it does feel good, you go ahead and do it real hard. Now you can do this a couple times a day. And again, this is going to help get blood flow into the area also, which helps it heal quicker. So I've had good luck with this, not only on the epicondylitis, but also in some areas of the other areas of the body. Did you have any other comments about this?
Right, this is a technique that I was at my sister-in-law's house, and she was telling me about symptoms that sounded like it. So I used cross-friction massage, and it was not improving after about 30 seconds to a minute. And actually the next day she got very sore, and I was not her favorite brother-in-law anymore. So when Bob says it should start to feel better after 30 seconds to a minute or up to 2 minutes, it's not the right thing to do. It's not ready for it yet. There's a certain phase of the healing that it will be ready, and it's typically after you've had it for a while.
And I don't know if I mentioned this, in great enough detail. You do want to go across the fibers. The fibers are running this way, so you're going across. That's why it's called a cross fiber friction massage. You're going across the fibers.
Wasn't this discovered by Syriacs?
Yeah, Syriacs. He's considered the father of orthopedic medicine. He's been dead for about 20 some years, but he still has a great following, and again was considered the founder of many of these techniques. So.